If your child bites into their handmade clay pizza, the only consequence is a yucky taste in their mouth. Although Jennifer Currington stated on Sculpey.com that polymer clay is non-toxic, I wonder if her kids ever actually tried to eat a handmade polymer clay pizza. That would be gross. Polymer clay isn't some well-known medium or craft, which is why today I'm here to elaborate on the numerous brands of it that you can work with when making your crafts, and that are used in today's crafting. And trust me, it's a lot more interesting than it sounds. Crafting can sound like many different things. When I think of crafting, I think of gluing popsicle sticks together, or knitting, or painting, or something of that sort. Typical, right? However, polymer clay does bring an entirely new meaning to the word crafting. Polymer clay is used to create a plethora of many different things that you probably never knew was even made from clay. How cool, right? Crafting can sound like I said, many different things. Tricky enough, there are certain types of polymer clay to use if you're reaching for the stars in terms of quality. I would like to go over some of those. Some of the top quality brands of polymer clay used worldwide for jewelry and crafting, which would be Sculpey Primo, Sculpey Soufflé, and Cernit Clay. One of the most used brands of polymer clay is Sculpey Primo. As stated on deckblick.com, Primo is firmer than Sculpey 3 and is extremely durable when baked. It is also designed to satisfy the needs of artists. Sculpey 3 is not durable, although it is used to make photo props or things that are handled with ease. If you're looking for something more durable, such as like earrings, necklaces, etc., Sculpey Primo is better fit for the job because of its durability. Sculpey Primo is one of the stickier types of clay, meaning that if you're not wearing gloves, it will leave fingerprints when handling your project. So wear gloves, wrap those fingers up. However, it isn't something that a little acetone can't fix after you bake. Amongst the other brands that we will be discussing, Sculpey Primo has some of the brightest colors on the color wheel of clay colors, of course. Now that you know which brand to use to get the brightest colors for your projects, what if you wanted to create something a little bit more muted? If you're wanting to create something a little bit more muted, I would suggest going in with Sculpey Soufflé. Just to dive a little bit more shallow into the muted colors of polymer clay, as I said, you would want to do some research on Sculpey Soufflé. According to SculpeyProducts.com, the right clay makes all the difference in the process of crafting and the quality of your completed product. Sculpey Soufflé, although it does have a completely different texture than Primo, it's also one of the most durable types of clay in the industry as well. The texture of Sculpey Soufflé kind of resembles suede or like leather, maybe a little bit of velvet. It's a really cool texture. It is more firm than Primo. It's just as versatile, it's just as durable, but again, it does resemble the feeling of suede. It does a wonderful job holding its shape. Pre-bake without fingerprints, which is really cool. No fingerprints, unlike Primo. But now that you know the two brands of Sculpey to use for your crafting, are you ready for the interesting part, which is my favorite? Sculpey's best two brands obviously make the prettiest crafts, but I have not told you about the best part, which is Cernit. Cernit is my most favorite brand of clay. It is a lot different from Sculpey clay in a lot of different ways. Not only from its color, but also its texture. It's extraordinarily different. It comes in a variety of different colors. Not limited to neutrals or brights. There are neutrals, there are brights. Translucent is what Cernit is known for. Sculpey Primo Translucent, when baked, has kind of like a yellowish tint to it if you bake it too long. Cernit has the most beautiful translucency in that it doesn't have a yellow tint like Sculpey Primo does. Cernit clay is extremely sticky and a little bit more difficult to work with. Unlike Primo and Soufflé, if you warm it up a little too much with your hands, the clay can get really not flexible, but it can get really just to a point where it loses its shape. And you don't want that. So I would suggest working in a cooler area so that it keeps its shape more. But the finish is unlike anything else. It is my absolute favorite. Again, it's produced without a translucent yellow tint, but the finished pieces are amazing, especially if you're wanting something translucent. You would definitely want to go in with Cernit. In conclusion, I hope that I did a great job informing you guys of my top 3 brands of polymer clay. I did elaborate on 3 brands, the Sculpey Primo, Sculpey Souffle, and Cernit. Amongst the millions of ways to craft, polymer clay is such a strong, versatile way to express your creativity, and I highly recommend trying it. And thank you so much.